When we prepare for a journey, it helps to know where we're going, and aboard the discipleship, we are travelling to God's kingdom. In God's kingdom, everything God created flourishes. Everything lives its very best life, and each life rubs along with every other life in good and healthy ways. So before we finally arrive there, we need to prepare to live there. Jesus lived, teaching us the means by which to embrace a whole, flourishing life. As he did so, he invited us into a deeply loving, healing relationship that would be both the catalyst and sustaining fuel for that way of life, and gave us tantalizing glimpses of the kingdom to come. He expected us to be so energized and enlivened by it, we couldn't help but share the ways we'd come into relationship with God, with other people. With that same loving spirit in our sails, giving us further peaks of a hoped-for destination, our practices and teachings have developed to give a myriad of ways into relationship with God, shaping our way of life, to nurture our whole body, mind, heart and soul, with which to love God and neighbour, and so become people of God's kingdom. We haven't always got it right. At times we have disagreed to the point of separation and relationship breakdown. We've made idols of those means into relationship with God. We have neglected our whole created selves. But as we have travelled together this 2,000 years, we have often tried to correct our course. We have made statements, contracts or covenants about what is important to us and stood up for justice, compassion, love. We've reminded each other what our hoped-for destination is like, what the symptoms of healthy relationship and life look like. We've put in new gauges to make sure we're doing a good job of loving each other. The Mental Health Manifesto, in a tiny loving way, could help us do that again, to hold up how we do church against the hope of God's ultimate plan. First, the Manifesto makes a statement of why and what matters. Everyone is loved and valued, made in the image of God, a God who longs to see each person flourish. Everyone has mental health, whether you're an organist, a manager, caretaker, MP, celebrity or the preacher on Sunday. Mental ill health doesn't discriminate, so every organisation needs to stand up, tackle the stigma and prioritise mental health. We need to build diverse and inclusive communities to lead to a happier and healthier environment where people feel free to bring their whole selves. We need to treat mental and physical health equally. Strengthening how mental health is protected under health and safety legislation is a key part of this. Everyone has a right to mental health first aid, just as they do physical first aid. Then the manifesto outlines 6 research-backed ways to turn mental health awareness into positive action and develop a whole organisation approach to community mental health. 1. Produce, implement and communicate a mental health plan. 2. Develop mental health awareness among our community. 3. Encourage open conversations about mental health and the support available when people are struggling. 4. Encourage our communities to create and maintain good working conditions. 5. Promote effective relationships and collaboration. 6. Routinely monitor our community's mental health and well-being. Only people can create good, loving relationship, person by person. However, rules and contracts make a people's statement of intent something we can stand by together. Working out a plan to make that happen, then make sure we stay on course. We want to continue to become a community that enables each person to have life to the fullest, and so give more tiny, hope-filled glimpses of what it will look like when God's kingdom is finally and fully realised.
Hello, I am Rebecca Byas and I am the Wellbeing Officer for the Nottingham and Derby District. We're going to have a little chat, aren't we, Kate, about the Mental Health Manifesto that you will have just watched. So I hope that was a helpful thing for you to see, and we'll chat through it.
Brilliant, thank you, Rebecca. So can you tell me, how did the Mental Health Manifesto come to be?
I can tell you that. Because I am wellbeing officer for two groups of people, so ministers and lay workers, it became obvious quite quickly that you can't have wellbeing separate from the community that you're in. The manifesto is for everybody, for every person within the communities that we work in, and that is to create a culture where we promote wellbeing, we notice mental health issues, and we work out how to help people in those situations.
Brilliant. So what can churches do to take positive action?
So positive action is the stuff we do in advance of a crisis. This isn't about solving mental health problems. It's about promoting the good stuff we can do. The NHS does this, and the government, by promoting 5 ways to wellbeing. So be active, take notice, connect with other people, give and keep learning. We already do so many of those things within church. A lot of what the promotion will be and our positive action will be is recognising what we do, stop doing the stuff that hinders and gets in the way of good well-being, and removes the stigma around mental health. If people feel that there's a stigma, if there's something bad about mental health, then they won't come forward. So if we create communities where it's safe, where we are accepting, non-judgmental, compassionate, patient, people are more likely to talk about when they're struggling and more likely to ask for help if they trust the communities that they're in.
Brilliant. So can you tell us a little bit about wellbeing champions and what you're looking for from a wellbeing champion?
So part of the mental health plan that we're hoping churches will come up with, and they'll be unique to each church. I don't know your church any more than you know my church. So the plan we come up with to look after the people that are in it will be different, which will be amazing to see. But one of those things will be to have champions, people that will stand up for well-being, who are committed first to their own well-being, their own health. You don't have to be completely together. I'm certainly not completely together, but you need to be intentionally working towards it. You'd be an active member of your worship community, not least because, for me, that is the best place, the best source of pursuing well-being, because God wants you to have that full life. And we want people that can really fly the flag for life in all its fullness, who are sold on the idea that God really, really wants to see his children and creation have the best life possible. It'll also be someone that will be promoting maybe secular things, maybe things that can signpost people in the outside world to stuff that is happening within the community, but also looking for retreat days or prayer material or YouTube videos that says, I found this helpful, or someone recommended this, let me help you centre on God. Let me help resource that. Let me promote how important my faith life, my spirituality is to a greater whole of well-being. It'll also be someone who's absolutely up for doing training. So you would be trained as a mental health first aider. So before the point that someone can get to a counsellor or for therapy or to the doctor, you'd be someone that could be listened to. The mental health first aid training is awesome. I would be one of the trainers. There's other trainers around the connection, and also raising awareness about what can we do within our community to create healthy relationships, more collaborative relationships. We're not looking for superheroes. We're looking for people that know transformation starts with the individual. And this is where leading the horse to water, that analogy comes into place. A wellbeing champion is not going to be force feeding water down the throat of a horse. Sometimes it's going to be saying it's okay to need water. Sometimes it'll be, can I get you a glass of water? And sometimes it'll be, I notice you look really thirsty. And that's how it works, where we're promoting a place where it's okay to not be okay. It's okay to say, I need help and I'm struggling. And so we're not looking for superheroes. We are not looking for people who have their stuff together. We're looking for people that are passionate about life in all its fullness. And for our wellbeing champions, believe God is right smack bang in the centre of that hope.
Brilliant. Thanks, Becca. That's really exciting. Can't wait to see more as it unfolds. Sadly, I will be putting my cape away, though. As we don't need to, but no, thank you for today. It's really exciting. We'll look out for more as it unfolds. Thank you.
You're very welcome. Bye.